Hello all, welcome to Sir UPSC Universe. I am Sowjayana, I am the Faculty of Current Affairs, and in this video we are going to discuss one important article from today's The Hindu newspaper, and the article is Farmers Hit by Stringent Biosafety Laws Says Experts, and the source is The Hindu page 2. So regarding this article, we are going to discuss some details of this article, which is Farmers Hit by Stringent Biosafety Laws. So why is this topic in news? So experts, they have expressed deep concern towards the laws that is happening to the Indian farming community, and that is because of stringent biosafety guidelines in the country even when other countries are reaping the benefits. So we'll look at the various other countries which are getting benefited from these biosafety guidelines, and also we'll look at the laws for our Indian farmers, and we will also look at the background of this regarding biotechnology, which is one important topic for us from examination point of view. So coming to the syllabus relevance, so this topic for prelims, it comes under Indian and World Geography, Physical, Social and Economic Geography of India. So regarding the loss faced by our farmers in agriculture. And coming to mains, it comes under General Studies 3, Technology, Economic Development, Biodiversity and Environment, and then major crops, cropping patterns in various parts of the country. So coming to the important concepts that we have in this particular article, we have GM crops and biotechnology. So this biotechnology is a very vast topic and also a very important topic for us from examination point of view. So we are going to discuss some related concepts in this video, but along with that we have many other concepts of biotechnology which you have to go through. So coming to our prelims PYQ, so earlier we had a question on this genetically modified mustard, that is GM mustard. So as we have discussed earlier, we have to go through the previous year questions to know the pattern of the questions. So regarding the article that we have today in The Hindu, this is one article question we had in the previous year regarding GM mustard. So GM mustard, it has the genes of a soil bacterium that gives the plant the property of this pest resistance to a wide variety of pests. So do find the answer for this previous year question, and depending on this, based on this, we also have a practice question for prelims. So our question is that, consider the following statements. In India, regulatory framework currently requires 2 to 3 year testing regime and no objection certificate from the states for biotech crops. So if you want to cultivate biotech crops, for every state you have to bring a no objection certificate. Only then you can go forward with this biotech crops. And also there is a regulatory framework which requires 2 to 3 years of testing regime. That means if you want to cultivate a genetically modified crop, then you have to test it for 2 to 3 years, and also you have to bring a no objection certificate from the concerned state. Only then you can move forward with this biotech crops. So this is our first statement. So our second statement says that biotechnology, it is a technology that utilizes biological systems, living organisms or parts of this to develop or create different products. So this is our second statement regarding the definition of biotechnology. So here we have both are correct statements, and if you look at the explanation, as we have discussed in India regarding our regulatory framework, currently we require 2 to 3 years of testing regime and also no objection certificate from the states to cultivate this biotech crops. And also we have some advantages by using this GM crops or genetically modified crops. So in the past 10 years, if we look at the data that we have, we can see that when we have introduced this BT cotton, so regarding this BT cotton, after the introduction of this, majority of the cotton producers or the cultivators of cotton, they have shifted to BT cotton, and because of this, the emissions of CO2, it has reduced, and also the use of pesticides. So use of pesticides in the cultivation of cotton, it has also reduced. And if you look at the yield of the crop, so the crop yield has increased. So these are the benefits of GM crops, especially in BT cotton that we have seen. So there is a reduction of the emissions of carbon dioxide, there is a reduce in the use of pesticides, and also the crop yield has increased overall. So this is an evidence that we have advantages from this GM crops, especially from the data that we have from the cultivation of BT cotton. And then coming to the important concepts that we have, that is GM crops. So as we know, GM foods, these are those derived from the plants whose genes are artificially modified, right? So the plant genes are modified artificially, and how is this done? This is done by inserting a genetic material from the organism in order to give it a new property. So that is why we call genetically modified crop as transgenic crops. So these are also known as transgenic crops because there is a foreign gene that is inserted into these, right? So we have transgenic plants, transgenic animals, etc. So these are our genetically modified or transgenic crops. So both are one and the same. And you also have to remember the apex body. So in India, the apex body concerned is our Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, right? So this will allow for commercial release of this genetically modified crops. And also, if you go forward with a unapproved GM variant, you can attract a jail term of 5 years and a fine of 1 lakh under Environment Protection Act of 1986, right? And why do farmers demand for GM seeds? So farmers are demanding for genetically modified seeds. So what is the reason? Because they reduce the production cost and they increase the productivity. As we have seen earlier, yield has increased and also it has reduced the high cost of weeding. And coming to BT brinjal, it reduces the use of pesticides as we have already discussed, right? And one more important point that you have to remember is, in India only cotton is currently commercially cultivated as a GM crop. So you can expect a statement based question on this. And there are also trials going on for other crops like brinjal, tomato, maize, chickpea, etc. using this transgenic technology. So coming to biotechnology. So what is biotechnology? As per our United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity, it defines biotechnology as any technological application that uses biological systems or living organisms or their derivatives, right? And within biotechnology, we have 7 types of biotechnologies and they are divided based on their colors. So for example, if we look at blue biotechnology, it is regarding aquaculture. If you look at green biotechnology, it is regarding farming. And we have white biotechnology for biofuels. So in this way, we have 7 colors representing 7 types of biotechnologies. So this is also one area where questions can be asked regarding the types of biotechnologies that we have, right? So it is a technology that utilizes biological systems and living organisms. So as we know, this is also playing a major role in agriculture. And these are the various advantages that we have, like reducing the use of herbicides and pesticides, increasing the crop yield and also reduction of carbon dioxide emissions. So these are the various advantages that we have from biotechnology and transgenic crops. So you can definitely expect a question in mains regarding this biotechnology because it is such a vast topic that you can expect a question on this. So here we have a mains practice question, that is, highlight the issues and challenges that genetically modified crops face in India. So especially in India, we have a lot of restrictions for cultivation of GM crops. So if you look at other countries like USA or Bangladesh, etc., we have the examples of golden rice, etc. So there they are allowing for the cultivation of GM crops. But in case of India, we have some constraints for cultivating this GM crops. So you have to highlight various issues and challenges that are facing India, especially for cultivation of this GM crop. So this is our mains practice question for today. So that is all for this topic. Hope you have liked this video. Thank you.